Welcome back to English for Work, the podcast. I'm glad you're here. Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever disagreed with a coworker in English and instead of saying what you really thought, you just stayed quiet? Or maybe you said something, but it came out more aggressive than you intended, and the conversation got tense fast. Conflict at work is inevitable. It happens in every language, every culture, every company. But in a second language, conflict feels twice as hard because you're not just managing the disagreement, you're also managing the words. Today, we are going to fix that. You will learn exactly how to navigate workplace conflict in English, professionally, calmly, and with complete control of the conversation. Part 1. How to disagree without sounding confrontational. The biggest mistake English learners make in conflict is going straight to no or I disagree. It's grammatically correct, but it lands harder than intended. Native English speakers soften disagreement using a specific structure. Acknowledge first, then disagree. Try this. I understand where you're coming from, but I see it differently. Or, that's a fair point, however. I think there's another angle we should consider. Or the most diplomatic version. I hear what you're saying. At the same time, my concern is notice the pattern. You validate the other person first. That single move changes the entire emotional tone of the conversation. Part 2. How to address a mistake someone made without attacking them. This is one of the most delicate situations in any workplace. If you go in directly, you made a mistake, even if it's true, it puts the other person on the defensive immediately. Instead, native speakers use what's called the I noticed technique. For example, I noticed there's a discrepancy in the report. Can we look at it together? Or, I think there might be an error here. Could we double check the numbers? This language separates the person from the problem. You are not attacking them. You are inviting collaboration to solve something together. Part 3. How to respond when someone criticizes you unfairly. This is hard in any language, but especially in English when emotions are involved. The instinct is to defend yourself immediately and explain everything at once. That usually backfires. Instead, pause and use this structure. Thank you for the feedback. Can you help me understand specifically what concerns you? This does two things. It buys you time to think, and it forces the other person to be specific instead of vague and emotional. If the criticism truly is unfair, you can say, I appreciate you raising this. I see it differently, and I'd like to explain my perspective, if that's okay. That phrase, if that's okay, is small, but it shows respect even while you defend yourself. Part 4. How to de-escalate a tense conversation. Sometimes a conversation starts heating up. Voices get firmer, the pace gets faster. In these moments, the most powerful tool is not what you say, but how you slow things down. Try. I think we both want the same outcome here. Let's take a step back. Or, I can see this is an important issue for both of us. Can we take a moment and approach this calmly? The phrase, we both want the same outcome, is particularly powerful. It reminds both people that you're on the same team, not opponents. Part 5. How to set a boundary professionally. Sometimes conflict isn't about a mistake. It's about someone overstepping, micromanaging, or making unreasonable demands. Many English learners either stay silent or become unintentionally rude when setting a boundary. Here is the professional version. I want to make sure I can deliver quality work. Can we discuss a more realistic timeline? Or, I'm happy to help, but I need to manage my current workload. Can we prioritize together? These phrases say no. without ever using the word no. That is advanced English communication. Part 6, how to follow up after a conflict is resolved. The conversation isn't truly over until you close it properly. After resolving a disagreement, a skilled professional confirms the relationship is intact. Say, I really appreciate you working through this with me. I think we're in a good place now. Or, thanks for hearing me out. I feel like we understand each other better now. This closing matters because conflict resolution isn't just about solving the problem. It's about preserving the relationship for the future. Part 7. The phrase that resolves almost any workplace conflict. And here's the phrase that ties everything together. One that experienced professionals use constantly. Help me understand your perspective on this. This single sentence does everything. It shows curiosity instead of judgment. It de-escalates tension. It gives the other person